Welcome to the Marketing Smarts live show by MarketingProfs and the Marketing Smarts podcast, where we dive into B2B news, resources, valuable guest content, and much, much more each and every week. If you're a B2B marketer looking for a place to learn, keep up to date, and have some fun along the way, grab a beverage, a notepad, or at least some style of writing utensil, and welcome to the show. The 3 C's of marketing is a popular concept: company, customers, and competitors. But on the Marketing Smarts podcast, I chatted with Dorien Morin-van about 3 C's of organic social media strategy. Content. It's about content. The biggest secret there is that your organic content is your testing ground. When things do well in organic, you can then take them and use them as paid ads or use that formula for paid ads. Community. You want people talking together about your product or about your service. You want to build community. In order to do that, you need to have a content strategy. Community most likely will start out organically by people talking about your brand. And third, conversation. Where it happens is in the private conversations. I tell my clients, your DMs, your messengers, that's where the real conversation happens. But to be honest, when the episode really gets going, though, a whole bunch of other C's pop up all over the place. So let's see what we can get into on today's episode. Hello to all my Marketing Smarts live viewers today. I'm super excited to bring you episode 39 of the Marketing Smarts live show. This week's topic is all about how B2B marketers can use an organic social media strategy for success. So if you're ready to get your learn on, buckle up and let's get ready to rock and roll. Of course, I'm your boy, George B. Thomas, speaker, trainer, catalyst, and the host of this here show, the Marketing Smarts live show, as well as the Marketing Smarts podcast, found on your favorite podcast app. Our guest clips today are brought to you by none other than Dorien Morin-van. Dorien Morin-van, a social media strategist, organic social media specialist, trainer, community manager, and keynote speaker. She is a certified social media professional and agile marketer. You can recognize her online and on stage by her signature, that's right, orange glasses, and a nod to her Dutch heritage. Now, remember, the clips of Dorien today are pulled from the full Marketing Smarts podcast episode. And if you want to listen to the full interview with Dorien and myself, make sure you tune into the Marketing Smarts podcast. Link to the full show will be in the description below after the live show ends. That's right, all the right links in all the right places at just the right time. Now, in this episode, again, we're talking about B2B marketers, that's you, and how we can use an organic social media strategy for success. So you remember those 3 C's? Well, the one that was conversations is about to rear its head, pertaining to getting started with using organic social media for success. No matter if you're really just getting started or you're trying to up your social media game, I think you'll find something very useful in what Dorien had to say when I asked her the question, how can marketers start using organic social media if they aren't doing so? Listen in. Here's what she had to say.
Yeah, I would start on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is I think, a great place to be, especially for a B2B marketer. And go, it used to be when I started on LinkedIn like 10, 12 years ago, almost like a resume, a CV, right? You put your information on there and maybe you connect with the people you actually meet in person. But, meeting people you don't know online was kind of a scary thing. But it's not like that anymore. There's incredible content out there. So I would say, go to LinkedIn and do some observations. And if you don't want to post anything, I tell my clients this all the time. You don't even have to post. I know LinkedIn experts who barely post on LinkedIn. You know what they do? They leave 5 comments a day. And when you comment on other people's content, you are seen, you become an influencer, you become a leader, and you will see the power of social media. People will reach out to you and they'll come to you with opportunities, some good, some not so good. But you'll start having conversations. And here's the other secret that I want to tell you. A lot of what's happening on social media on the outside that we see, that we might see on Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn, you're right if you're thinking it's all a bunch of, inflated stuff, right? I don't want to say the real word. But where it happens is in the private conversations. I tell people, when I tell my clients, your DMs, your LinkedIn DMs, your messengers, that's where the real conversations happen. George, when you and I were trying to record, we messaged on Facebook. I recorded my podcast this morning. I messaged my friend in the Netherlands on LinkedIn. The real conversations are happening where you are not seeing them between people. I'm always surprised to hear, like, this person knows this person, was I the connector? I don't know if I'm the connector, but it doesn't matter because we're all sort of connected. So if you're scared, Facebook, definitely things are inflated and like ghosts from your past come out. I feel like on Facebook, people from literally when I was 10 years old and living somewhere in the Netherlands a long time ago are finding me, right? And I'm in my 50s. So that's kind of a really long time ago that people are finding me. And then on Instagram, I feel like, that's kind of a display. Look at me, right? And so LinkedIn, I feel is still the platform where you, if in marketing, if you're running a business or a marketing department, I think that's a great place to dip your toes in. And the other part, if you don't want to have a presence on social media, just go consume some content, read some blogs, right? Go on your husband or wife or spouse's social media, ask them to log in and go consume an hour of TikTok. You will be amazed. Just watch what other people are creating because it's really changed in the last few years.
Just watch what other people are creating. LinkedIn, you might be asking? Yes, it has changed so much in the past couple of years. Now, I love that Dorien talked about observation and commenting. Becoming a thought leader based on the conversations you purposefully inject yourself into is a real fact and a tactical strategy you can easily implement today without posting anything. Question for you right now. On social media, do you post more or comment more? Put the answer to that in the chat pane and let me know on Twitter using the hashtag MPB2B. And of course, tag me. I'm at George B. Thomas. Now, we'll get back to Dorien and her thoughts on how B2B marketers can use an organic social media strategy for success. But first, I have to ask, are you part of the MarketingProfs community yet? If not, become part of the MarketingProfs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. That's mprofs.com/MP today. Now, it's time for one of my favorite sections in the B2B news, where we talk about breaking B2B news, or really important tips we find on the Google News tab related to you and your B2B business. This week, the title is How B2Bs Can Get More Out of Their Social Media Marketing Efforts by Michael Kuzmanov. I hope I said that right, Michael. In today's ever-changing social media ecosystem, business to business, B2B, companies confront unique obstacles when trying to connect and communicate with their intended audience. The goals of B2B social media marketing campaigns range from customer involvement and brand exposure to lead creation. In this Forbes article, Michael uses his 15 plus years of agency work and helping brands with their social media strategy, aims to provide B2B enterprises with a wide variety of social media marketing insights. Ready for some great social media tips? Then check the description below, click on that link, and start learning more today. So let's return to Dorien and her Marketing Smarts podcast episode. One of the biggest things I worry about when it comes to B2B marketers and them reaching the success they are trying to achieve with their organic social media strategy is the hurdles that will, without a doubt, get in the way. So why not get them out into the open, plan for them, and then jump right over them like a B2B marketing pro? So I asked Dorien the simple but powerful question that was, what are some hurdles along the way when marketers try to start using an organic social media strategy that they might run into? And here's what she wanted you to know.
Content approval. It's one of the biggest hurdles. It's not trusting the marketing team to be your brand voice, to get too many opinions in there and too many people wanting to saying, well, we can do this or we can do that. Look, if you hire a talented marketing team and they understand the business and they get access to the sales team who's selling your product and get and understand what they're selling, why they're selling. You have access to the team, the financial team. So you know what's selling, what are the best sellers, what your financial status is, right? What your revenue is. You have access to your C-suite and you understand what their goals are. Then you're going to need to let marketing test and try things. You know, the best viral tweets and the best viral content we've seen from big companies are from social media managers sitting behind a screen just like this that have permission to fail. Okay, let me say it again. They have permission to fail. One of the famous examples is when Pharrell had that happy song and he got an award and he wore the big hat and RB tweeted, "Pharrell, give us back our hat." That went crazy. If he had to go to ask for permission from somebody or a marketing manager and didn't have permission to put that tweet out or put that on Instagram, none of that would have happened. You, if you're listening to this, you're a C-suite and you're in B2B, give your marketing team permission to fail. That also means giving them permission to try new things. I think that's one of the biggest hurdles. That content approval, you have to approve the concepts of what you're doing, and you have to have the content strategy plan in place. Like, we're going to do some evergreen posts and some salesy posts, and we're going to run a sales campaign, and we're going to highlight our members, and we're going to, all of those things. But then once you have that framework, let them go and let them fail if they need to, because that's how they're going to succeed.
Let them go and let them fail. Oh my. Content approval, not trusting your marketing team to be your brand voice. Do you live in this world? I'd love to know. Dorien talked about teams and understanding that we give those teams the trust they need to do what they need to do. Give marketing the same trust. But more importantly, give them the ability to succeed through possible failures along the way. So good. So good. Now, we'll get back to Dorien in a few minutes, but first it's time for some dope B2B learnings from the vault of MarketingProfs articles. That's right. It's time to dig into the treasure trove of valuable information and pull out 2 pieces of gold to help you be a better B2B marketer. Article number 1 this week is how to make sure your social media strategy succeeds. Take a cross-discipline approach by Lawrence Minsky and Keith Quisenberry. Now, social media is now a mature practice integral to success of virtually every B2B organization. But although other key marketing communication disciplines have clear owners, advertising is responsible for paid, public relations is for earned, and marketing for owned, social media doesn't have one. The key responsibilities fall to one of those 3 or to one of many other organizational functions in various departments or performed by an outside firm, including corporate communications, sales, human resources, and customer service. All of those departments have specific but strategically different reasons to be on social media. Of course, B2B customers do not see those differences, whether they're prospective customers looking for product information, current customers with a technical question, brand advocates sharing a positive experience, or angry stakeholders causing a crisis. All experience your brand through the same virtual door of social media. As a result, social media cannot be the job of just one department or outside agency. And accordingly, integration is key to success. But how to best achieve integration in your organization is the question. How cross-discipline social media teams are staffed and organized and where they are located are important foundations to effective B2B social media strategy. But there's a simple way to figure out the answer. Want to know how? Make sure you check out the link after the live show ends, because that's what the rest of the article talks about. Article number 2 this week is 4 powerful tips for a highly effective B2B social media strategy by Jawad Khan. Now, most B2B companies are not great at social media marketing. Often they're too boring or too product focused to engage social media users and develop a loyal following. As a result, they fail to achieve long-term success, which leads management and decision makers to conclude social media is a B2C marketing channel, not B2B, which is wrong, of course. If you're a social media manager or marketer for a B2B company, you need to do things differently. Creating awareness about social media and managing the expectations of your company leadership should be on your priority list, certainly. But you also need to make sure that the goals of your strategy include making a clear contribution to goals of your company. Your B2B social media marketing strategy should therefore focus on the following steps. Want to keep learning more about the steps or about making sure your social media succeeds? If so, check out the link in the description below after the live show to get access to both amazing Marketing Profs articles. That's right, all the right links in all the right places at just the right time. Okay, back to Dorien. Let's dive back into this conversation of how B2B marketers can use an organic social media strategy for success. Speaking of social media success, what the heck does that even look like? How do we know we have reached organic social media nirvana, if you will? Well, never fear. That's exactly what Dorien and I dug into when I asked the question, what does organic social media strategy success look like? And here is what she had to share.
Well, it paints the picture that you need to have is that at the beginning of the cycle, whether that's a quarter or a year, you have your goals. Why did you want to be on social media, right? And then you need to see improvement in those goals. And for some companies, when the budget is teeny tiny, the goal might be our traffic went up from 1,000 people a month to 5,000 a month. Or for a big company might be our email list went from 1,000 people to 30,000 people on the email list, depending on what your goal is. The biggest thing with organic, you have to see movement and you have to see growth. So the growth will depend on your resources, time, money, and how much you put into it, right? If you post only twice a week on organic and you have a teeny tiny budget and you send one email newsletter a month, your growth is going to look and your success is going to look very different than when you have a large marketing team. You've got email, a dedicated email marketer. You send out email sequences. You want to grow your list. You're doing paid ad alongside with the organic. It's going to look different. But the biggest thing is you need to have growth and conversations on social. If you're not building your audience and you're not listening to your audience, whether you're building an open community on these different platforms or you have a dedicated community, say a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or somewhere on social, you have to be building that community and you have to have conversations, because the best content that you can create is content based on the feedback you get from people. That's how you improve your content, right? So you start with the content that you think they want, you test everything, then the things that work the best, you're going to go evaluate that every month or every week, however, what your resources are, and you can make content that looks like the one that did really well and make it even better. So you have to build upon that. So success is growth. Success is movement. Success is building a community, having conversations, and ultimately that will result in super fans, brand ambassadors, more sales, more people that want to work for you, retention of customers, and all of those other things that you want.
Knowing your goals and seeing improvement. Is your goal traffic? Is your goal leads? What are your resources? Time and money are tied to what your success will look like. Ambassadors, all sorts of great things. And did you hear the C's again? Building a community and having conversations. What a fabulous picture Dorien painted for us about B2B organic social media success. We're going to get some words of wisdom from Dorien here in a few minutes, but right now it's time to turn the spotlight on you, the Marketing Profs community. Yep, time for From the hashtag MPB2B community. We search far and wide in the hashtag MPB2B universe to find amazing information and conversations to bring to you, the masses. So first, make sure you're using the hashtag, and second, make sure you have fun and add value to the community along the way. Then we'll spotlight you or your crew on the show. This week, it's Alan Wise on LinkedIn. His post went a little something like this. Is AI coming for your job? Last week's Washington Post article about ChatGPT's impact has a lot of marketers worried. But Matt Bowman from Inc. 500 Digital Marketing Agency Logical Position says AI isn't ready to replace the human element in marketing and content creation. He argues that B2B marketers have different incentives than these Silicon Valley tools, which means your skills, insights, and motivations are not replaceable by AI. C. Bowen's takeaways in No ChatGPT won't make your marketing and search irrelevant, at least not for now. Hashtag MPB2B, hashtag B2B, hashtag marketing, hashtag ChatGPT, hashtag AI. My fellow B2B marketers, you need to check out the description and click that link to check out the post and learn more. Marketing Smarts viewers, I have to ask, are you going to be the next to get the spotlight? Remember, community, use the hashtag MPB2B on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter and get the light shined on your awesomeness in the next episode or a future episode of the Marketing Smarts live show. Pro tip, it won't hurt if you tag me in the post as well. I'm at George B. Thomas on LinkedIn and Twitter, Mr. George B. Thomas on Facebook. Okay, let's kick it back to Dorien and some words of wisdom around this topic of how B2B marketers can use an organic social media strategy for success. Here is what Dorien wanted to leave us with.
Work with your teammates. One brain and two brains don't equal two brains, equals even better. When you put the power together of teams and of ideas. Listen to all the voices on your team. Come up with content that works. Go test it. So I think that is the essence of what I want to tell you moving forward. You might have an idea, and if you implement it by yourself, it's probably great because it's your idea. When 2 or 3 people come up with an idea and 5 or 8 people implement it because they get all excited about the plan and all excited about implementation. It's that dog pile. It's that pile on, right? So just because you're on a marketing team and you're the video editor doesn't mean that your opinion doesn't count on what kind of video you have to create. It's when everybody stays in their lane, nothing exciting happens. But when everybody works together as a team and all voices are heard on the team, whether it's a team of 3 or 5 of 7, that's when the magic happens. So really treasure those teammates, your marketing team that you're on. Sit around and have these sessions of brainstorming. This is the one thing that we want to do. What do you think? What have you seen? Where have you been online? What are some examples of content that stopped the scroll for you? And build upon that, because all those brains together is just going to be amazing.
Work with teammates. I mean, we could probably drop the mic there, but the power of teams and ideas, the power of brainstorming. I love this so much. 2 brains, 5 brains, 8 brains can be so much more powerful for your business and its B2B organic social media success. Have you enjoyed today's journey? Let us know. Use that hashtag MPB2B on whatever platform you're joining us on. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Time flies when you're having fun. Head to the description below. Click on the links to the full Marketing Smarts podcast with Dorien Morin-van, and keep on learning more about how B2B marketers can use an organic social media strategy for success, as well as all the other amazing links. Remember, these were just a few clips of the original Marketing Smarts podcast interview. If you got value from today's show, hit that like, and better yet, share it with a friend. To keep learning more, hit subscribe or watch additional Marketing Prof videos on your favorite social channel, or head over to our YouTube channel if you're not there yet. Or you can go tune in to the original Marketing Smarts podcast episode on your favorite podcast app. Don't forget to become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. And as always, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble B2B marketing human. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Smarts live show next week.